Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raity's Rides, and I am in a very special place today. I am in Oldsmar, Florida, and I am at a location called Montu Motors. I first want to give a big shout out to Sam for hooking me up, allowing me full access into Montu Motors. If you don't know what Montu Motors is probably the number one import company to get these Nissan Skyline GTRs, right-hand drive Supras, right-hand drive Mazda RX-7s, whatever you want that was never available here in the United States, as long as it's 25 years or older, they're the company to contact to make that magic happen. So definitely a big shout out to them for allowing Raiti's Rides full access. As you can see, we're going to start off with one of my favorite cars of all time. This is a 1993 Nissan Skyline GTR V-Spec. If you don't know much about the Skyline and the GTR, let me give you a little bit of history lesson. So, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was a company called Prince. Prince existed in the 1950s. They eventually merged with Datsun and Nissan to form one unit. They're the ones that created the name Skyline. Skyline was just a mundane passenger car. And what happened was in 1968, they decided to create the first ever Nissan Skyline GTR. Now, when you're looking at your GTRs, there's a way to look at it in generations. So, first generation is going to go from 1968 to 1972. 1973 was generation number two. That was it. After 73, there was a hiatus of no Nissan Skyline GTR all the way until 1989 when Nissan came out with what's known as the R32. Now, after the R32, so R32 went from 1989 to 1994. From 95 to 98 is what's known as the R33. And then probably the most popular of all the GTR models is going to be that next generation, and that's going to be the R34, which goes from 99 until about 2002. That's the one everybody lusts after. And the problem is that one is still not available to bring over because of, remember, that 25-year rule. This car that I have behind me is first time here in the States because 93, if you do the math, 93 plus 25 is 2018. And that's why I'm here at Montu Motors to bring this to you. Let's go ahead and take a look at this Skyline here. What I really like about these cars is that they're purposeful. When you see this car, even though it's not brand new, you know that it's a special car because it has a presence to it. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is a nickname for these cars called Godzilla. Now, many people thought the Japanese gave that nickname to the car. Well, guess what? It wasn't. It was actually the Australians because this car was sent all the way down under to race in the Australian Supercar series back then. So this thing, with its straight six, twin turbocharged, all-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, went up against those Holdens, those Ford Falcons, and other cars down in that championship. And guess what? It kicked so much butt that they named the car Godzilla because it came from Japan and just destroyed the competition. But you can see the styling, it just screams that 1989, 1990s look to it, but it still has a nice presence to it. I really like this one has the N1 nose. Now, the N1 nose is going to have these extra air scoops in here. When it comes to N1s, that was a special model. Paperwork back then was not the greatest, so sometimes owners decided to change this out. Because remember, this car is 25 years old. It was owned by somebody or some group of people over in Japan, and God only knows what changes and modifications that they did. But I really love the look of these R32s. I actually like the R32 probably better than the R33. But very aggressive. Everything is there for a purpose. I really like how the lower lip spoiler comes down. That's going to help scoop air into that intercooler. Now, stock, these cars came with that straight six, that RB26. So when you hear RB26 and you're like, on, I thought it was a Gallo 14 or a Gallo 21. No, if you're thinking that, you're probably been watching too much Fast and the Furious. But anyways, the RB26, the 26, this is a 2.6 liter inline six, twin turbocharged. Now, believe it or not, Many people claim that this car is underrated horsepower-wise because from the factory on paper, it has 276 horsepower. There's been many people that have dynoed totally stock R32s and have gotten a lot more horsepower. I like the car in white because it really shows the lines very well. And if you're wondering, V-Spec, this car is a V-Spec. What is that all about? The V-Spec, V actually stands for Victory Specification. Because of their big win in 1992, Nissan decided to make this special edition to commemorate that big victory. Let's go ahead and take a look at the side here. I am in love with these Enki wheels. Really works with the silver. The silver and the white really works well. You can see, I'm sure Tom, my camera guy, will show you that they were using Brembo calipers all the way back in 1993. Those steel rotors, you're not going to see a lot of six-piston calipers back then. You're not going to see, 20-inch wheels. This one is running these Dunlop Dureza tires, very good tire. It's going to give you some grip. It's also going to give you the ability to drive this on the road and get good mileage out of it. If you work your way down, you can see this one with the fender work, very, very nice, clean lines of the Skyline GTR. If Tom could flip around the camera and just show you the cool fender work that this one has, I really, really like how that tire and wheel is just flush to that fender, and you can see how there's some extra cutaway there to really make the car look even more aggressive. Let's work our way down the side here. Tom, show them this amazing fender here. If you look, I don't know if Tom could show you, but if you look, this fender is actually wider. GTRs, that's one way to know that this is a GTR. They have the extra wide fender. That's going to allow them to run an extra wider tire. Set up all-wheel drive, you're going to get that grip, and you want to push that wheel out as far as you can to claw that road with the all-wheel drive. But still, I'm blown away. This car being 25 years old with the way that this car is so clean with the wheels. If you go around to the back, here's the GTR rear wing back here. I really, really like, it's not too obnoxious. It gets the job done. This is all functional. And then here's the back end of the business. This is another Skyline GTR specific, those 4-round taillights. You can see that this is the V-Spec model. There's that famous GTR badge. Now, if you know, you could go down to Nissan and go buy yourself a GTR brand new. Well, guess what? That's not a Skyline. You can't go in there and say, I want to buy a Skyline GTR, because that car was specifically built just to be a GTR. It wasn't based off of some other car. So that's what makes these cars special, is that it's a Skyline, but only by name. They're going to put all that extra trickery, all that extra performance that you're not going to get in the mundane car. But look at just how clean the rear bumper area is. And then you have your huge single exhaust outlet out back. I really, really love this car. And I'm telling you, I keep saying it has a presence because there's so much history, not only with movies, but also with racing and performance and all that. I don't know about you. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and check out that RB26. All right, guys, there's the heart of Godzilla, that RB26. That's a 2.6 liter inline 6-cylinder, twin turbocharged, all-wheel drive, 276 horsepower stock. Now, you can see this thing I could eat my lunch off of. It is so clean and immaculate, and that's what I love about Montu Motors, is that they go and they bring cars over that are the highest specification. So when you go and buy from them, you know you're going to get a top quality import brought to the United States. But you can see the nice aluminum radiator here. You can see the auxiliary oil filter on the side there. The strut tower brace, very, very well set up, very clean. What's also great about Montu Motors is that they service these cars. So if you're lucky enough to live in the area, or you want to have the car sent here on a truck, they will actually service the car for you and make sure that you're getting that attention to detail that you expect when you buy one of these cars. But these engines are bulletproof. They've been underrated for so long. They get the job done, and they have that racing heritage behind it. I don't know about you. The engine's great. Outside's awesome. Let's go and take a look at where the driver's going to be sitting. Let's check it out. All right, guys, I'm sitting inside this 1993 V-Spec R32 Skyline GTR. This is actually the first time that I've been behind the wheel of a car and sitting on the right side of the vehicle. Just a really cool experience, and I definitely want to thank Montu Motors. This is actually special for me, being a big car person, knowing about these cars and sitting here. But you can see this one is a cream puff. Very, very clean. I love the Momo steering wheel. Very, very nice wheel. You can see everything is driver-centered. Even though this is a 93, everything is here for the driver, all your controls. You can even see, if Tom could show you, the center console, how it's sort of like tilted towards the driver. Here's your GTR specific gauge cluster that you're going to get down here. Air conditioning. There's that wonderful 5-speed transmission. Yes, you heard it right. These cars have a 5-speed, not a 6-speed. 6-speed doesn't come until that R34 era. But very, very short throws. It's just really cool because first is going to be where first normally is, and all the gears will follow behind that, but you're shifting with your left hand. Obviously, since this is a Japanese import, it is a little tight. These seats are comfortable, but they really hold you in. I don't know if Tom could show you the pedals down here. You can see just the tightness of the foot box, but you can see when you go to heel-toe downshift, this thing is set up perfect. I'm stepping on the brake, rolling my foot, blipping the throttle as I go down the gears. Yeah, let me show you these GTR-specific gauges. If Tom could show you, everything is original there. You can see your speedometer. That's going to be in kilometers per hour. You have your tach. I don't know if Tom could show you all the way over here. This is actually a front torque gauge to let you know the torque that's coming off the front wheels because of its all-wheel drive. There's the tachometer. Now, these things have a red line that's actually way earlier than what you could go. The hard red line, you could go up to 8,000 RPM with these. Just a really well laid out cockpit. The seats are really comfortable, but they hold you in. And that's what it's all about. You're going to take this car, you want to drive it, you could go and do a track day, you could enjoy it, and you could have Montu Motors service it for you. So let's go ahead and do the wrap up. All right, guys, it's been one hell of a day here at Montu Motors. Definitely want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Sam for allowing Raity's Rise to come in and bring these exciting imports to you. Cars that were never allowed into the country are finally making their way over. If these are the types of things that you like to see, you want to see these historical Japanese cars, this Godzilla, the R32, leave a comment in that comment section. If you have not visited my website, raitiesrise.com, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook pages, all Raiti's Rides, all original content, please check those out because I like to put like little secret snippets of pictures coming out, videos coming, all that great stuff. We are almost up to 6,000 subscribers. I have all of you to thank. If you have not hit the subscribe button, what are you waiting for? This is what I'm bringing for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Big shout out to Big Guns McGee, Tom there, my camera guy, for working the camera today in this hot conditions in Florida. It's probably like 95 degrees in here, but we got it done, bringing it to you. And like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.